I have to put my glasses on. I cannot see. Okay, I'm gonna wait for everybody to get in. It's all my way close to you to make us grip on me. Another personality. I was just that close to putting carrots in your ways until I picked your heart. Now you threw me for the start. I was just a touch away. Fool for you till you lost my touch. Gotta back this thing on up. Hello, hello. You lost my trust. Gotta back this thing on up. Take you home with me until you open up my eyes. Show me your other side. You were edges from the hole, just about to take control. Now that I know it was all a night, I got to get that bracelet back. Got your way. Fool for you, till you lost my trust. This thing on up. I was just a touch away for you till you lost my trust. Now I gotta back this thing on up. What make you think you can lie to me? Lie to me. Get away, come back now. Reality. Just don't get it. I was just a touch away. A fool for you till you lost my trust. Now I gotta back this thing on up. A fool for you till you lost my trust. Gotta back this thing on up. I don't trust just a touch away. And I fool for you till you lost my trust. Now I gotta back this thing on up. Have you never lived like a rat do cheese? When all the time you was just trying to trap me. Closer and closer and closer to me. Trying to get with it like the ground and trees. Now I wanna get tight like the harmonies. All you wanna do is just scheme. Back in my data sitting on them things. Drinking and smoking up all my. I was just a touch away. And I fool for you till you lost my trust. Now I got the baddest thing on. I was just a touch away. And I fool for you till you lost my trust. Now I got the baddest thing on. lost my trust. Now I gotta back this thing on up. Till you lost my trust. Now I gotta back this thing on up. I'm trying to wait to see anybody coming in here. Yeah, I can't see. I think I need a more stronger prescription. Woo. Y'all can hear me out there? No sailors, no cages, no two ways, just us. No phone calls, take messages, no family, no friends. I just wanna be alone with you. Alone. Girl, I just wanna get it on with you. Yeah. Disappear and not leave a clue. Here's what I'm gonna do, babe. I just wanna take my time tonight, holding your body tight, keeping you warm. I just wanna stop this feeling. Giving you sexual feeling. I just wanna take my time tonight, holding my body tight and keeping it warm. I just wanna stop this feeling. Giving you sexual feeling. Listen, baby, no bill collectors, no landlords. Your boss is tripping, just ignore it. You got plans, call them off the CD. Take it off home. I just wanna be alone with you. Girl, I just wanna get it on with you. Yeah. Here's what I want. Well, I'm just gonna get it started and pop in here, y'all. Just wanted to just play a little music for y'all before I get this thing going because I'm ready to make me a pizza. Put a pizza in the oven for me. Okay. I like to have a little snack, sit back, watch a movie, whatever. You know, today has really truly been a busy morning for me. But anyway, y'all, how y'all doing? Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Tuesday of April 28th of 2026. And what I want to bring to your attention this afternoon, because I've been on this thing and I've been really searching my heart and doing some reflections on a lot of things that took place throughout history that I've been in this world. I don't know about everybody else, and everybody don't have to agree with me. It's just I want to just share my reflections, okay, on leadership in this country, in this nation, since we are celebrating 250 years of America. And some things I have noticed, and I went back and I looked back over my life and I looked back over leadership in this country. And after what took place on Saturday at the White House, you know, conference or whatever dinner they had at the White House, there were some things I just started to just like really try to put together about what happened for this young man to come all the way from California, not even by bus or flying it in. He took the train, a 18-hour ride from California to Chicago. Mm, Chicago. Listen to what I'm saying. He took a 18-hour ride from California to Chicago to get to DC on a train. And then on top of that, we don't know what his target was. We don't know if it was President Trump or maybe somebody else that he wanted to injure. I don't know. Okay? Because there was a lot of people there. There was reporters, of course, journalists that were there, other dignitaries that were there, other leaders, people in leadership that was there with their spouses, their wives, and more people came as far as like people that wanted to go to the White House, um, dinner. And notice the time of this event, how he's traveled,
from what I understand, he traveled on the 20. I think he took his ride out there on the 24th. If I'm not mistaken, it was the 24th or whatever, because it at least took him at least 2 days. In the first place, he went is to this specific hotel with his all his weapons that he had, from what they reported, knives and all kind of he was in combat or whatever by himself. Something just don't sit right. Something just don't sit right. And I'm not a stupid person. You know what I'm saying? Because I notice that out of all the presidents from the Democrat Party, the only president that is living now out of this Democrat that are living now through history, President Trump was never a president. Let's always get that right. He was always a politician. It was something that his father built, and he and his brother, whatever, his brother or whatever, Frederick, I guess he didn't really have that personality or whatever, the way Trump had the personality to take the business to whatever level he took it to. But that's another story. But always remember, Trump was always just a politician. Not, I mean, Trump was always a businessman, not a politician. Out of all of them, he came in this through being a politician. I mean, being a businessman. I'm sorry, a businessman, a billionaire, a businessman, billionaire, whatever. So I never heard of Obama until he ran for presidency. Okay, because he's from out of Chicago. Chicago. Notice everything that has taken place in Chicago. Gangster City. That's what it's always known for because of Al Capone and everything. If you go back and you know about Chicago, Chicago was always a place with Windy City. They call it Windy City because of the crime and all the corruption in Chicago. It was given that type of name. But moving forward, out of all of those presidents that you saw sitting at Jesse Jackson, Reverend Jesse Jackson, I got to put some respect on his name because he was a reverend. Reverend, he was a man of reference. Reverend Jesse Jackson. Okay, funeral. It was Biden there, Kamala. No, Biden was Biden there. I gotta remember, was Biden there? Whatever. Yeah, he was. Biden, Kamala, Clinton, and ta-da, Obama. Right? And of course Hillary. She ran for presidency, but she never, won anything. But why they always protecting Obama? He's the only president I know who served 2 terms and never been impeached, never been questioned about nothing he was doing. Notice Clinton been impeached. I won't even count Biden. But see, look what happened to Biden though. In his third, when he ran for presidency, when they stole the votes from Trump in 2020. I don't care what nobody say. They can't tell me that nothing different. They stole them votes. Ta-da! They stole those votes. Okay, and how they staged they so-called January 6th of storm in the Capitol to make it look bad for Trump. Trump been indicted. How many times? How many times? And then on top of that, they out here now trying to pull out the amendment, the 25 something, what they trying to do to impeach him. Ta-da! And I'm sorry, y'all. Pay attention. Pay attention, y'all. Trump been indicted. And they rolled Trump really hard, especially with them saying he stole votes out of Georgia, and that stuff went on with Fonnie Willis, and all of that stuff. Just look at how they come at Trump and attack Trump and question him about everything he do, every move he's making. They stay on him. And then you got to remember the No Kings protest unrest and all the stuff that was going on in Chicago, all the corruption over there, all the things that was going on in New York, all the other sanctuary cities or whatever. Why this man never been questioned? It's still, he's building a library, I think, believe in Chicago now for himself, not the people. It's not the people doing it. Hi, how you doing, Purple Butterfly Divine? How are you, love? Thank you for stopping in. But notice they never questioned Obama. And he served not only 2 terms, because I truly believe he was running the White House when Biden was serving. Mm. Notice he's never been brought to Congress and questioned about some things. Why they protected him? They protected him about his real, true place of birth. And I guess that leaves it up to the people to figure it out for themselves and the people to apply that pressure. Because I never seen a president get so through 2 terms, and even after what happened to Biden, who was running that White House, when Biden was suffering with cognitive dissonance, this man never been, this president never been questioned about his shadiness and the people he, foreign relationships or whatever. Hillary's been in there, Clinton's been in there, and also have other presidents been in there. Oh, they impeached Clinton. Don't y'all remember? Clinton was impeached. Mm-hmm. Clinton was impeached. You notice that elderly? You notice he's never, ever been under any kind of questioning in front of the people. And there's so much stuff about him that people been out here speaking. Even I never heard of this man Alan Keyes, and he's been silenced. Alan Keyes ran for presidency 3 times, and he ran for senator for Chicago in a debate with Obama, and he was calling him out about abortions, the way he think about abortions. Even called out his birthright citizenship. This man was calling it out right along, and this man and Trump never really knew each other. Alan Keyes, I mean, he probably heard of Trump, but I don't think they rock together. And he's a black man, and he's been saying, Obama, there is something that they hiding, that Obama is not who we think he is, and we need answers. We need to call for truth and accountability. And black people just be like, no. Jesse Jackson actually cried because Jesse Jackson knew black America was in trouble. Remember, Jesse Jackson work, he was a civil rights fighter, but his work wasn't in America. Most of his work wasn't about just his civil rights fight here in America. His civil rights was global. He was a Pan African. He was a Pan African even before he started following King. Jesse Jackson was a student in Pan African studies when he was in college, when he was a young man. But King is part of an organization he got involved with the civil rights movement with King to bring in his movement on Pan Africanism. But that wasn't his movement. His movement was that it was black people not only in America that was oppressed, it was black people in South Africa because he went over there to fight for South Africans that was apartheid. And all these black people, oh, Jesse Jackson was a sellout. He was a this, he was a that. No, his work was a lot more broader than that. But Obama made sure he made his way to Jesse's funeral so he can block that. And if anybody should be getting any monument or anything built in Chicago, should be Jesse Jackson, not Obama. To be honored in his work. What work did Obama really do for Black America? What did he really do for us? But he's going to, and for Chicago. The streets are talking. People I meet every day because I don't always drive. I take the bus because that's how I connect with people and hear conversations. And somebody says something to me, and we had this conversation about R. Kelly. And they said, "You know this?" And they are R. Kelly supporter named Muhammad. He's an R. Kelly supporter. He said he can't stand Obama. And he said he believed Obama had a lot to do with R. Kelly's appeals. These are people that don't do social media. They don't like they don't like the drama on social media. They are everyday people. They are just regular, ordinary people. And these are people that are R. Kelly supporters. He says, I believe Obama. He says, that's not my president. That never been my president. That man is a fraud. He broke it down. And he's a Muslim. Islam. He's from the nation of Islam. Okay? Not the Muslims from the Middle East. They don't fuck with them. Because they, Muslim ideology, they follow Christ. But they follow Christ in their identity of being black men. It's a totally different way. They have a way of thinking in their Muslim faith than those Muslims from over there in the Arab countries or whatever like that. They don't fuck with them. Okay? They don't. They don't. Well, some may do because they still lost and they trying to find themselves. But the ones from America don't really fuck with them Arab Muslims or the Middle East Muslims or whatever you want to call Muslims from Pakistan and all that other stuff. They don't mess with them because they these American Muslims they deal with everything from they do the Quran and the Bible because they only in the Muslim for the discipline, but for the faith is in Christ. Listen to Farrakhan speak. He more speaking from the text from the Bible more than he is from the Quran. And most Muslims were raised in biblical teachings in America. Exactly, butterfly. This man came out of nowhere and the black people just ran right with it. He waved this beautiful black woman in your face with those beautiful true black little daughters he had to play on our emotions and our heart. But that's twisted. But the truth is, he was here to fool us. He wasn't here for us. He wasn't here for us at all. But they had to use somebody that looked like us to get our votes. to keep those chains around our neck. And look at what he did to Chicago. What you mean medication works? Yeah, notice. But the people that I've been talking, Muhammad and the brothers, the Nation of Islam, they said that brother ain't no real brother. They said they played us with him. We were played. They said notice how they keep protecting him. Even Clinton was impeached. I told you Clinton was impeached. And Clinton to me was more like his character wasn't really meant for politics. He was more like a man for ministry to lead, like in a like an evangelist or something, some kind of work like that. Because I met Clinton close and personal, but he loves his wife. You know what I'm saying? And they put all kind of scandal on Clinton, all kind of scandal on Clinton. But Clinton really meant well for the people. I don't know what you mean, Summer Breeze, but I'm gonna just let you go with that. But Clinton really meant well for the American people. He was true in his work. This one here is a fraud. And I said they never questioned him. Notice his comment when Trump was, you dreamed about him before he became president. And what I say in the dream, he had a full on heavy civilians. And look at what happened to Jesse Jackson's son, Jesse Jackson Jr. People got to do their research. The information is out there, but people just not doing their research. He said, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Don't let nobody just come and tell you something. God said we have to try the spirit. And what God means by that is that don't always go by what somebody say. Watch they walk. Watch how they moving. He said some come and say they me, but they not me. Some even call on my name and even say they love me, but their heart is far from me. Exactly. You got to do. I didn't do no research on Obama. When Obama ran for presidency, I was like everybody else, walking in blindness, caught up in the sensation and the emotions, and happy to see a black family in the White House. I tell that all the time. And I'm saying this, something I saw, and my spirit is telling me. This man never been questioned. He seems to get away with a whole lot of other things than any other president that I know in my lifetime, who's never been sat in Congress and been questioned about his relationships, business relationships, or whatever with other foreign countries, and especially these Muslim countries. I was in Killeen, Texas, when those not, and I was working for First National Bank of Texas, right there when it all happened, and that Afghanistanian so-called psychiatrist, doctor, whatever, killed those military soldiers on base. And who was president? And then there was soldiers. Go back and listen to Alan Keyes. There was soldiers questioning, do they have to listen to this dude? Because they wasn't sure if he was really an American. And those soldiers worked under him when they were killed by an Afghanistan so-called doctor. And when America was in some kind of war with the Taliban's. No, I got the same energy for Trump. If Trump is walking in any kind of way that I see it ain't looking right. But see, y'all got yourself so fooled about Trump. See, the thing is that with Trump, Trump has always lived his life publicly. Everybody know Trump. So that's what people don't get to understand. Trump was always under attack. Trump this, Trump that. Even when Trump was a businessman. So you could be in your feelings about Obama all you want to. Because, see, I ain't looking at skin color. I follow the cross. And I keep telling people that. Stop watching people. Stop trying to excuse people because of skin color. Because that's why we in the mess we in now. Believe me, Trump lived his whole entire life in the public. Everybody knows Trump. And the ones you think are doing the wrong to you are the ones who are the ones doing the best that are working in your favor. And the ones you think are so cool that you want to sit up here and defend just like they did Barabbas. Stop looking for Barabbas and look to Jesus. Talking about I hope you have the same energy when it comes to Trump. If Trump was moving like that, you better believe I will be having that same energy. But he's not. He's not. I'm 60 years old. I've been around. I saw a lot of things. I'm from New York. Okay? I'm from New York. I wasn't born a wise baby. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't know Obama. Just like they pushed that one in New York now that's working, that's over the lives of those New York American people. That Muslim that didn't even swear in on a traditional Bible. He swore in on a Quran in our face. And who was in New York with him at an early child care center reading children books? So don't come at me with no, I hope you keep the same energy when it comes to Trump. Trump was always in the public. And Trump always had black people at his best interest. He's always been a loud mouth, a loud dude, and he always liked to think big. That's why he's Trump. He always think big. He always was always fight to win. That is who Trump is. That is always his personality. That's right. We don't pardon nobody. Nobody gets by. Nobody gets a pass. And where did the Pope come from? Chicago. The Pope came from Chicago. He's the first American Pope from Chicago. And how he's been moving. Shady. I don't know about Thomas Jefferson. I'm talking about now. I'm talking about now. I don't remember Thomas Jefferson swearing in on no Quran. I gotta go look that up. But still in all, he wasn't a Muslim. Okay? He probably was just making a statement, but he ain't a Muslim. Thomas Jefferson ain't no Muslim. And Thomas Jefferson was from America. Point blank period. He wasn't a Muslim. Doesn't matter. He was born in America and he grew up in America. Even if he did swear in, but this one didn't. He naturalized. It's a difference. And what happened in New York? It was the towers were taken down by the Taliban's, Muslims, radical Muslims. I don't trust them. I had a friend who worked there. She used to work right there in one of those in the building. I believe that was building one. Up in the building called, it used to be like called it was a restaurant, and it was a big fancy restaurant, and it also used to turn into a nightclub in the evening time. and it was called Windows of the World. She was an accountant. That when those planes flew into the World Trade Center, I lost a friend. Okay? So my heart, I will never look at them the same way. You didn't live through that experience. If you didn't live through that experience and you didn't have nobody that you lost in there, you're not going to feel the way I feel. But I feel differently. I feel differently. Okay? I also was working for a Pakistani bank when that lady, Benazir Bhutto, was running. She was wanted to speak up for women and that wasn't being recognized and being able to be, like other women and be involved in sometimes in politics or whatever. They killed her. They assassinated her in Pakistan, and I was working for a Pakistani bank. So my experience, I'm only talking from my experience and what God has shown me. Everybody have their own personal walk, but I'm just sharing my reflections on some of the things that I have witnessed in my life. And I'm just sharing that here with you. And I just know that I never knew about this man. Never. I didn't do no research, no nothing. And all of a sudden, he just came out of nowhere, even though he was already here, but I didn't know him. That's all I'm saying. Just so that people don't walk blindly into something. Get to know who you are voting for. Get to know their work. Because all I hear them always doing is attacking Trump on Epstein. And Trump been coming for this man for a long time about his birthright, questioning his birthright. Okay? And all of a sudden now Trump is walking around with a target. And they've been running these no king protesters like crazy and all this stuff they've been doing on the internet, slandering Trump, saying this about Trump. Trump is this, Trump that, TDS, all this other stuff that these people running around with crazy. But I never hear them say anything about this man. And I never seen a protest, unrest protest go against Obama about same-sex marriages or nothing. People have said things, but it has not been to the point with the way they come for Trump or any other president. It was times nobody protested even get Clinton out. It was just scandal on his name about him with women and everything. But he always noticed that what Trump said, whenever you trying to make a difference, really make a difference for the people, they always come for you. Whoever president the people like is the one they always seem to try to get rid of. Whichever one working for, I mean the American people. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the American patriotic people. Notice they never came for Obama because he wasn't really here for the American people. I noticed more and more Muslims started getting promoted. More and more Muslims started coming and moving into New York. More and more Muslims started moving in all these other states or whatever like that. And they mad at Trump because he exposed them. He exposed the wicked government. And they can't control him. And they mad. They trying to get him out of the way. Look at how hard some of these black platforms go for Obama. I'm talking about these main platforms like Roland Martin and Smiley and what's his other name? DL Hughley and even what's the Al Sharptons and all of them. These always going hard for Obama. And notice they do nothing for black people. Now, I can't say Al Sharpton, but see, I guess he got used to the money too. He got into the money too after a while because Al Sharpton was really, really about doing the right thing for, you know, disadvantaged people. He has really did that kind of work. He was out there on the streets, even though he had to, come against police brutality. I was there. I lived through it. I saw his work. But, after a while, you start hanging around those people and you start getting into the money with those people. You become like those people. Okay? Before he became National Action Network, yeah, once you start hanging around certain people, you hang around corrupt people, you're gonna start becoming corrupt too. That's in the scripture. You got to get away from the tents of the wickedness. You can't sit with the tents of the wickedness. Notice that Jesus, as he came in, he did his thing and he left. He didn't stay around the people. He would go ghost because you stay around long enough and you start seeing certain things, you're going to start becoming corrupt just as well. All of that is in the scripture. Everything is there. And then if you don't search the scriptures, then you ain't going to know. This man want to take away religion from people. He didn't want kids to learn the flag. You didn't have to play. It's a whole lot of stuff him and Biden was doing to try to take Americans away from being American for some reason. See, Trump didn't come in for the deals or the wheels because he had his own money. He was already a billionaire. Obama, Biden, Biden was a lifelong politician, and he wasn't no different than Trump when it came to people talking about being a racist. Okay, it slips up in him every now and then. Oh yeah, and that's why they want to protect DEI, diversity, equity, inclusive. Look at these AOCs, Ilhan Omars. Do they fit qualified to be in leadership? Oh yeah. Do they fit to be qualified for leadership? Maxine Waters. She should have been gone. Somebody got mad at me on my Facebook page talking about, oh, calling me by my real name, which is Karen. I was like, look, say what you want to say, okay, about Maxine Waters. You probably don't even live in California. Never probably even been there. Go look at where she's supposed to be, the congresswoman in California. Go look at that place. Okay? Go look at it. She's been sitting in that chair for many, 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 many years. And those people are living destitute. And she's the congresswoman. And people came to her asking her for help for housing. And she says, okay, okay, y'all go home. And the people's like, but we don't have a home. These people don't have a home. They living in the shelter with all kind of crime, murderers, rapists, you name it. These women came to Maxine Waters for help. And she said, okay, y'all, okay, y'all go home. And, she said, all right. That's all she said. But when it came for those illegals, she went running and charging up to the door, trying to knock the door down to get help for those people. While they was out there burning down California and tearing up California. Her and Karen, what's her name again? Yeah, Bass. They went hard for those illegals. But you ain't see them go hard like that for those black people that's living in destitution in California. So don't come with me with all of that. It's time to clean the White House up. Okay? Time to get some new people to be sitting in there as legislators. New legislators, new young fresh eyes. Okay? With energy that want to do the work and will get the work done. Not sitting here just collecting a paycheck and just giving you some promises and some empty speeches and getting you all sensationalized. Okay? You need real people that's going to be out there to really work for the people. even in housing, to get down some of these housing so people can have a place affordable to live in. I could imagine what the prices of rent is like in California for people to live in some dump. I could imagine. I don't trust no Democrat. Not in this climate. I just don't trust them. They've been doing too much for too long that is too dirty and corrupt. I'm not saying no Republicans ain't doing it too. Republicans, the rhinos, they only Republicans in name only. But I'm just trying to just open you to see that don't just go by a person personality, don't just go by looks, don't just go by any of the things. Watch they work, watch they move, watch what they really be out there doing for people. I watched Trump's work. Okay, I watched how he helped Mike Tyson out when he was getting beat out of all his money and getting all scandalized and dragged and stuff that his name was getting caught up in and with that stuff with what's her name he was married to. Because Mike Tyson is not wasn't that bright. You know, he was a kid from Brownsville in Brooklyn, and all he knew how to do was fight with. You know, he was a good fighter. But when it came to literacy, he had a dysfunction going on there. He had something going on. I don't know anything about his life, about his parents, and nothing, but I know the man that died that really cared for Mike Tyson. I forgot his name, the guy that trained him and really watched out for him. And then after he died, Mike Tyson had nobody. And that's when Trump stepped in and helped him out. So I know Trump did a lot of things for black people, a whole lot more things for black people than Obama did. He helped even advance Jesse Jackson's career. And he's not only once did Jesse Jackson run for presidency, but twice. But for two times. Two times. And he even helped him with the Rainbow Coalition. Do your research. What have this man ever done for anybody with skin color like this? He plays all in your face. And some of y'all will never see it because you can't get past skin color. Identity politics. You can't get past skin color, so you will never see the truth. Now, if it was some white man moving shady like Biden, hell yeah, I'll be calling him out. But see, I didn't never watch Biden's work. I only know he worked behind pulling the strings with this one. Okay? And then when he got in presidency, then this one was pulling the strings. You see how they played their games after they stole the vote in 2020? But God snatched Biden's mind away from him. But God wanted to move him out of the way so we could see this one. So y'all go ahead. Love up on y'all Obama. I don't have no hate for him, but I still want him to be questioned. I want him to be questioned. You got to examine his heart. And the only way you're going to hear it if they bring him in for questioning and question him about all these things through his time that took place. Question those things. And let's see how he's going to answer to it. And that's the part y'all don't get to understand. Let's see how he going to answer to it. It's just like what he said about when Trump, well, we don't know all the details of everything. So that sounded kind of shady, didn't it? Well, let's just thank God nobody was harmed. He didn't say that. He says, "Oh, we don't just know all the details, but no political violence should listen to what he said. He didn't even say thank God no one was harmed. That's what he should have said, but he didn't. I questioned that. And then on top of that, the young man stopped in Chicago, and this was the White House where all even presidents, even former presidents, come to. Hello, Terrence. How are you? Even former presidents attend this event. And I'm sure if Biden was in his right mind and he wasn't cognitively dissonant, he would have been there. Clinton, he's struggling with his health right now. He has something going on right now, but I don't know if he was there. But he will. He this one here wasn't there. What was the reason for that? Or he was, or he wasn't. But the young man stopped in Chicago before he got on his next train to D.C. Mm. California, Governor Grissom, Democrat. Maxine Waters, she even said it herself. I could take Trump out myself. Democrat, California. I don't take those words lightly. She is the internet. You can't play with the internet. She said it herself. She could take Trump out herself. California. I don't know about Karen Bass. She's been kind of quiet. But listen to the words that came out of their mouth. God said it's not what goes in a man, but it's what comes out. And this young man was an educator. He also knew how to fix things. He did a lot of other things. He part of protests and everything too. And he had a pretty good life going for himself. You know, he's still very young, very impressionable. Want to be a part of something. What's the topic today? Why hasn't Obama ever been impeached? Why hasn't he ever been questioned? The young man came out of Chicago. I mean, out of California. That's Grissom. Those are Trump enemies. Grissom. All them Democrats. Maxine Waters. And I don't know who else. Maybe Karen Bass. I'm not sure. She's been kind of quiet. I haven't really seen much around her. But follow these names in this state, California. And who wants to run for president? Which I don't think anybody would be in their right mind to vote for. Grissom. Gavin Grissom. California stopped in Chicago. Chicago. Mm-hmm. What I think they all need to be is questioned. Even the Pope from Chicago. He needs to be brought in too. I don't put none past the Pope either. And for all I know, they all covered up a lot of crime for the mob. The mob ran the Catholic Church. Okay? All I'm saying. It may or may not be true. But it came out of California. That gunman came from California, stopped in Chicago, to Washington, to the hotel where they was having the banquet dinner at. Mm. Reagan was from California too, but Reagan wasn't a politician. Oh yes, he was, because he was a governor in California. Reagan was the governor in California. He used to be an actor, then he went into politics as the governor, and then he became the president of the United States. Oh yeah, in that same place, they took a shot at Reagan too. I said that. I said that, Glenn. That whole Democrat, they all need to be brought in for questioning. I don't put nothing past those people because it has been done. There's been four presidents, successfully four, who's been assassinated, and they were all Republicans. Not one Democrat in history. As soon as You got to do your American history on president's assassination. Four. Four. Oh, yeah, it was one Democrat. The Kennedys. There was one. John F. Kennedy. He was assassinated. He wasn't a Republican. Neither was Robert either. But Robert was killed by some foreign dude. Well, they all seemed like the ones that was taking hits at Trump were Nazis and KKK men. Oh yeah, I think the Kennedys was the only ones who was assassinated. They probably was. They probably was Democrat, but they came at Trump too many times now. And look, Charlie Kirk, and from what I understand, that shot was such a clean shot. The person who did that, they yeah, that's what I'm saying. Play pity, because if you don't go along with them, they will have you assassinated. That's how dirty and wicked they are. They always been the most terrorist organization in America at the toppest level of corruption. They have always. They was all that was the fight with the civil rights. That's the fight the South and the North and the South. And it was always less Republicans than it was Democrats in America. When it comes to corruption, they at the highest level. The highest level. And if you go through history, black Americans that were from the free states, ain't none of them was a Democrat. They were all Republicans, the ones who did successfully, even dealing with discrimination under real, you know, things that was really like oppression and everything. They were no Democrats. We didn't, black people didn't start becoming Democrats until the 60s. Join the civil rights movement because that was the way to bring us back in, have control over our lives. The Democrats. The black people were not, because our values were always conservative. These people so wicked, you can have an abortion 9 months and the baby could just die. They'll let the baby just lay there to die. Even if the baby is born, they will still let it just lay there to die. That's how sick they are. And there's just some things that just don't line up. Only certain babies from certain people. These abortions. This is how sick these people are. And this is how hungry they are for power and money, not for the value of people's lives. They will even go to the extreme of killing unborn children, telling you to kill your child in your womb. They wicked. It's like belonging to the KKK. They control that party. You see all the scandal that just came out about these humanitarian funding things that they supposedly have. And everything in with them is always, Trump is a racist. He's a racist. Why they want to keep telling you that? Why? He's a racist. He's a pedophile. They always say a pedophile because they know children that will make people mad to hate somebody about being a pedophile. And they also like to call racism. Racist, and a pedophile. Most states had infant mortality rates go to third world country rates when we banned abortions. Oh yeah. Now they go to these third world countries, and God knows what they doing to the woman over there. But they ain't gonna allow that to happen in there in those places. Because they need those poor children. They need those kids that's born like that for their wars. Teach them how to, have a gun in their hand by the time they 10 and 11 years old. How to fight a war. That's how they do it in them third world countries, especially if it's a male born child. You saw the movie Black Diamonds. Mm-hmm. Over there in that place in Africa, them kids were young. Mm-hmm. People that's after men, that's after power and greed, don't value human life. They will do anything to stay in power. And this one here, playing like a black man, but he's a real he ain't no black man. He's a Kenyan or mixed with some kind of Oriental whatever or Asian race or whatever like that. But he's not American black. Just put it that way. He's black, but he's not an American black. And he hasn't lived the black American experience either. Because he didn't grow up here. He grew up in Indonesia, Jakarta, Indonesia. And he came here when became more of a man, and he went to school here for political science or whatever. But he didn't live the black American man experience, and neither did Kamala. Don't let them fool you. So anyway, y'all gotta go because I want to put my pizza in the oven. But I just wanted to just question that and want you to do your own research. Don't go by what I'm telling you. Just do your own research. Find out. You be surprised what you're gonna find out. That's what I had to do. I wouldn't be sitting here talking if I didn't have no research. And then on top of that, when that brother Muhammad said to me that he believed this brother here, that this man here is the one who set it up for the appeals for R. Kelly, and then made sure that he put some kind of block for Trump not to even give him a pardon. Trump wouldn't even give him a pardon. He made it that Trump couldn't give R. Kelly a pardon. Then they made sure they put that in place before Trump left office in 2020. And they stole those votes. Well, God gonna let you see it. So with that being said, God bless you, love you, peace.